So I've said a lot of stupid shit in my life and on this podcast and out there. And a lot of people told me that I should not say something or that it was bad to say. And I have been told to not say racist things and to not use the hard R. But I swear to God, Karen, you will not stop me from saying Karen.
Now the question is, how does one not use a hard R with Karen?
I don't. Kawen.
Kawen is the one for
Oh
affection.
no, Kawen, did you get a bad batch of eggs at the grocery store?
Kawen is the way. Yeah, that's how you do it. Indeed. Full-throated Karen is
full-throated hard R Karen. That's right.
Full-throated hard R Karen is the new OK Boomer.
Yes. There's really something about these people, the boomers, anyone over 40, really. Just these minor, passive-aggressive little jokes.
Marin fucking Karen. Yeah.
Losing their fucking mind. Just after... I feel like it's been 15 years of Time magazine saying that millennials are destroying the planet or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Like giant splash page of like some asshole behind a computer going, I can't believe these millennials and their avocado toasts are killing all the babies or whatever the fuck.
Millennials are standing in the Shinra building looking out as they destroy the planet and suck all the life from it.
But saying like, okay, Karen, you boomer, it's like, that's a hate crime.
Yeah. Well,
I can't believe it.
Well, two important things. One, you're looking at people who, when you ever see the reaction in the old kids cartoon of the super rich kid getting smacked for the first time or getting beat and just having an absolute hissy fit because they've never experienced this feeling before.
I can't. You hit me.
Joffrey.
I can't believe you hit me.
Joffrey gets smacked in season 1. There's many other examples throughout. Whether it's the fucking Richie Rich movie or whatever else, where you see the spoiled child going, what is this? My reality. It's a little bit of that, but
you're not allowed to hit me.
But that's happening.
They're always this tiny little British ponce.
That's happening later in life for these people. The second thing, and that's important, is that if we're going off of the specific thing that I retweeted, which is the post notification to millennials to stop using the K word, that is a single tweet account, and the level, the troll level is god tier. It's through the roof because it is clearly a fake account, and it is
I don't care.
And it is taking a real angry word and a real angry concept that has been flying around because we've seen the origins of this idea coming from real angry Karens online that don't like the idea of being put into a box because their ideas suck and their attitudes are shit.
I will say one thing, and I do feel genuinely bad for people whose first names become terms of derision.
Yes.
Because you can't escape that, and you may have nothing to do with it. That sucks.
Perhaps. But at the same time, there's something a little bit magical about the discovery that, like, okay, so fuck you, Karen. Originally, she's taken the kids. She's taken half my money. She's gone.
She's complaining at Walmart.
She's the worst, right? Fine. That's your little box over here, right? And then you have another thing that you have like choosing beggars, where it's like, you must give me your Xbox for free because I am a mother and my child deserves it. You must also give me the $400 that you were asking for because you don't know what it's like.
I love that swimming story so much.
It's the best. It's the best thing in the world, right? It's a level of entitlement that makes me so giddy because the person's reality is so, like, it's such a farce. And so what we get there, right, is this level of choosing beggars, right? And then occasionally you get wrapped up into there's like the Reddit's like nice guys and nice girls, where there's just these awful people that are just like completely just undateable garbage in their attitudes. And what happens is you finally realize that some of these things are actually just different parts of the same Voltron. Yeah. These are different Zords connecting into a giant Megazord. And you go, oh my God, holy shit, the whole time we've been peeking at a choosing beggar, not realizing it's the same bitch that took the kids. Not realizing, that asking for the manager is also that same super horrible, undateable person. And all of this just fits into a great, perfect package that is, oh, you're Karen. You're Karen.
Willie, I have a good idea. I have a good idea for the stream, for the podcast, for both of our streams. What if we embodied the Karen lifestyle, got some good knee socks up here, up to our knees, right? And we just say, we're not going to start the podcast until we hit that sub donation amount. What do you even hear watching the podcast if you don't have $5 to sub? What are you doing? Shouldn't you be working?
I have.
What are you wasting your time for? You're like a blight on society.
I've got some socks that go up pretty high up my feet right now. I got some real big cozies. They're coming up at least to the thighs. At least they're big and they're thick and they're warm. So I'm halfway there. But
you know what my favorite part about that shit is?
Yeah.
Is that I am talking about that chick that got in trouble recently.
But you don't even know what you're saying, because what you're saying also literally is just low tier God.
That's exactly what I was getting to.
Like,
and I see people in the chat going like, "Oh no, that's low tier God." I'm like, I know.
Like, you started saying that, and it's like, oh no, that's the other thing, But yeah, that was a gem of a clip where, hey man, really, what's a sub, right? At worst, it's $10.
Says to the universe, I'm not going to go to Evo or CEO unless you guys pay my way. And then Evo and CEO go, hold on, bro. We got you.
Yeah.
We got you. Don't worry about those donation goals. You're never going ever again.
Well, that clip with the that's like Karen in the making type ideals. That's not even, that's because you're not quite there yet. The Karen,
Proto-Karen,
the Proto-Karen, absolutely.
There's There's one that I saw earlier today, which was like a follow-up from a different person. That was somebody saying, guys, I've had things on this Amazon wish list for like a month, and I still don't have them.
Hold on, that took a second.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys?
I put these things on there like weeks ago.
Hello.
Come on, what's going on?
Man.
I'd like to take this moment to say thank you to everybody who listens to this podcast, whether or not you do anything other than listen to the podcast.
Boy. Wow. Yeah. So here's the thing, right? It's that, like, there's nothing to stop you. Like, reality doesn't rush up to hit you in the face as often as one would hope in these situations, because a lot of these people are able to make it really far into their lives, right? They're able to get pretty far into the quest, and never, ever realize how badly they've specced out. I remember it's kind of crazy. People
in my mid-20s that were still coasting on just superficial good looks and literally nothing else.
Yeah.
And all I could think of is, and I'm talking guys and gals as well, there's no preference here. And all I could think of is like, you better get a meal ticket fast. Because if you get to a certain point, hey bro, who's cool with your shirt off and and it's like, oh man, the hair and all that. There's going to be a point where your bachelor lifestyle starts to fucking fold in on itself.
Oh, who, Johnny?
And die. Yeah, Johnny
with
exactly.
the open shirt and the chiseled abs. Yeah, I mean, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, if you don't lock it down
Mm-hmm.
at a certain point, all that shit that's cool is going to be profoundly uncool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm fucking old, man.
Well, yeah. It is definitely such that, like, you know, that is a likelihood, but there's also a very distinct and clear possibility of, one, you know, you just got to land on your sugar daddy / sugar mama, right, to do the full-on hookups, at least until, you know, they're tired of that. The other thing, of course, is just that, like, you can actually, obviously, as we know, we bring this up, I feel like, pretty often, but if you are just, like, shitty enough to most people who are attempting to be decent in life, you can get pretty far as well, right?
It's crazy.
So asking for the manager, there's a reason why that's the go-to response, right? It's because up until that point in time, it has worked. One might assume they have gotten what they wanted out of doing that, and in many cases, an employee that, well, let's say this was before the time of, like, having a cell phone recording of some shit, an employee would be like, ugh, this is not worth it, right? And here's the other thing, the old school manager coming out is probably of her generation and is probably going to chew me out for whatever the fuck she's angry at, and then she'll just have her way because the customer's always right.
So as somebody who had to deal with many Karens asking for the manager, there's a little sub piece of that, and that is that it has a cooldown on its effectiveness. No matter how open and, you know, caring your fucking manager is or whatever, to like, oh, the customer's always right. You do that every week, a month in, they're going to ask you to never come back ever, because there's only so many free pieces of shit you can give away before the person becomes a total net loss.
Well, it also becomes clear that you're angling and how you're angling, you know? Like, if someone comes in looking for a fight that no one is going to give them, then
I distinctly remember
it's a lot harder to get that fucking con going.
This old bitch came in and was doing her fucking birdseed racket, and, like, the instant is like, you want to, okay, fine, we're gonna get the manager. And my manager, Lorraine, comes out and she looks at her and she's just like, get out.
Yeah.
Like, not even hello, what's the problem. Just leave.
So that's the bit, right? And so enough time has passed that, like, the you know, the new employee that is the Karen is attempting to steamroll. In many cases, that person has had a chance to possibly become the manager. So there is still a massive age gap between these people, and that person being like, yeah, hold on a second, yeah, that's me. What's up? What do you want? You know, or worse, going in and being like, hey, yo, Rob, some lady out here wants to talk to you, and Rob comes out and goes, hey, what's up? And it's like, uh-oh, this is not going to work. Rob and the person I'm yelling at right now are pretty much on the exact same page. It ain't going to work out. You know, but up until then, it must have, at the very least, worked out a couple times for it to be cemented in the playbook. And also, the power trip must be like cocaine. It must be like a high in that moment when you're like, yes, subservience to me.
So, as somebody who's seen it a million times, you would think, but they don't have the power trip. I think that's part of the problem, is that they're like, they win, and then they're just as mad that they won because they're like outraged that people would like deign to like confront them about it in the first place. And they carry the indignity of that out the store. And it reinforces it, like sets up how annoyed they're going to be at the beginning of the next interaction. It's awful. It's a fucking lose-lose for everyone. Even Karen loses.
And thus it makes sense that that level of indignation at, the world not crumpling at their feet, leads to the ultimate indignation, which is like everyone is now marginalizing me by calling me a Karen and saying that this is what I am and whatever. And it's like literally just like you are embodying it now, right? This is one final rage against the dying of the light, as there's been a joke that has been put on your head because you're a fucking asshole, and it's hitting you a little too real, because you know deep down that it's true.
It's funny because this used to be Karen just used to be soccer mom.
Yeah,
it's the same
did.
fucking term.
Yeah, it did.
But soccer mom never got him bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if that is because the new batch of Karens are slightly more social media. Like they're on social media instead of literally not.
Yeah, so there's an archive of your insanity, and there's a history of your complete bullshit and nonsense, and it's very like you're not going to fade into an anonymity as easily, mm-hmm. I suppose, so. And at the end of the day, it's the same as OK Boomer, where it's just a ha-ha, look at this idiot, But yeah, that's kind of the problem. You are an archetype. It turns out there's a lot of people that are just as indignant as you, and you think that your world is the only one that matters. Your children are the only ones that matter. And everyone who has like been putting up with your shit for years now is fucking sick of it. And so we're calling you out. That's about it.
It's always my favorite thing. So I follow scrub quotes. I follow
God bless.
struggle tweets. I follow, I follow a significant amount of accounts that we're going to blur out the person's name. We're going to put a little clown over their avatar. And we're just going to put their tweet up.
Public shaming accounts.
So it's an anonymous shame.
Public shaming accounts.
Everyone can have a laugh,
yeah.
But we're not telling anybody to go. And every now and then, somebody goes, or you see people do this like in personals, like, oh, I knew this guy, or a guy in my mentions, right? And 1 out of 10 times, somebody shows up and goes, you motherfucker, I can't believe you fucking put up my fucking tweet. And it's like, you dumb motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like you were so safe.
Yeah.
You were so good and free.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I see for Karen. Because I see as a white mother, I feel like this Karen thing is like you are announcing to the world that this stereotype offends you because you're an asshole. It is built in, like Karen's horrible and racist.
I did not know
I
didn't know about struggle tweets. This is fucking
wild.
wild.
Struggle tweets is a nightmare.
Oh, this is wild.
It's a nightmare every day.
Oh, I'm in there immediately. This is wild.
How do you not know about scroll down that shit?
I didn't know about this.
Cry.
I didn't know about this.
It's
okay.
Like today's is really bad.
Yeah. I didn't know about this. Okay.
It's about the struggle, man.
Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, that's in there.
Wooly, you after this podcast, you just go ahead and you scroll.
I mean, I've been there's Reddit cringe forums that you can dive down, but there's some pretty good ones there. I didn't. Whew. If I knew that the last time I had sex was going to be the last time I had sex forever, I would have gone a little harder, I think. Damn, son. Well, anyway.
It's so sad.
Well, anyway.
I hate it.
Yeah, there really is something about that type of account. But here's the other thing too, right? And if I'm not mistaken, there was I forgot where, but I was listening to a podcast where someone was describing that like our brains are hardwired to like the public shaming kind of like phenomenon, right?
Yeah.
Because it's in the same way that people watched fucking lions Christians get fed to the lions, in the same way that like the blood sports of South America would go down and sacrifices would happen and all these crazy things where like the group will come in and watch like someone who did something wrong be punished for it, and everyone's like, good, fuck that person, because we're all like, there's just a feeling of like, you know, like, gotta get you for doing the bad, and for you know, like that could have been me, you could have taken from me, or something like that. And
shame is an extraordinarily powerful motivator.
Yes, it is.
And it's also an even more powerful demotivator or deterrent. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. The mob mentality, the mob justice is deep rooted in us.
It reminds me of a bit in, ironically enough, World War Z, in which they're talking about like, okay, plan's fucked. We don't have time for jail. There's no time for jail, but we're not going to just start shooting people for stealing food. What do? Put them in the stocks for a day with a sign that says, I stole my neighbor's food. Problem solved. Now, of course, this superpowers people would have no shame.
Yes, there's that, I suppose. And it also gives into mass ignorance and fear and panic can lead to the worst things in the world. See the bad, angry mob of any story, you know, see the Beauty and the Beast, see literally anyone where there's pitchforks being held up while fire is burning in the background.
Hey man, Scarlet Letter's like 200 years old. That shit's on point forever.
Whereas Devilman Crybaby is like 1 or 2, 3 maybe at tops. I don't know. But either way, that's the bad. Don't mob that way. But anyway, I want to say that the accounts that like tap into that are giving you they're giving you the methadone version of it. You know what I mean? They're giving you the little here's someone that deserves this, and we're gonna spare their name, but just look at this complete ridiculous thought.
Look at this motherfucker. Look at this.
Look at this ridiculous thought right here. Can you believe someone had this thought and then typed it out and then pressed the button? They reread it back to themselves.
It's why one of my favorite memes ever is, I forget the guy's name, I'm very sorry, sir, but it's the audio of one of his videos, and it's, look at this dude, look at the top of his head, and he just starts like screaming, laughing, and you just put it over any photo of anyone you don't like, and it just kills you, because it's like, look at this motherfucker, just look at him. Look at anyone. Shame this person.
Yeah. So, you know, yeah, fuck off with that, Karen. Fuck off with that. That's ridiculous.
Fuck off, Karen. Go to hell. Karens are probably losing their minds because they got to stay inside and they don't have anybody to yell at the Walmart.
Oh, they have all that more yelling to do online, though. There is infinite audience available at all times.
Yeah, but that audience doesn't want to hear it.
No, certainly not.
And they're not required to stand there and smile.
Yeah. You know, and then there's all the variants of, again, the same Voltron, as I described. Occasionally we'll get a power up in the form of Dragon Megazord. You know what I mean? Where you're like, oh shit, I didn't realize this combines too. It comes flying out of the sky and then like transforms and lands on top of the Megazord. And you're like, hold on a minute. Leopards Ate My Face is another one where it's just kind of like, it's just the idea of it came from the source of I can't believe leopards are eating my face, says woman who voted for the Leopards Ate My Face party.
I see.
And the idea basically being just like, I can't believe that karma is coming back around to bite me in the ass this hard. And I'm currently the person who is yelling about, you know, something that I specifically was all for. And now it sucks that it's happening to me.
I'm waiting for the too dark to laugh at version of people screaming about how we need to reopen malls and shit. going out and inevitably getting sick.
Well, one of the leopard face eatings was a lady that was like basically yelling that this is all a lab creation that is not real, and we need to stop worrying about the lockdown and get out to church, and we need to pray. And just all this, and also all this other stuff, and calling people idiots, just this like ridiculously aggressive anger account. And it's like, yeah, that lady caught it and fucking died.
Yeah,
and you're just like, what are you gonna?
It's a lot less funny when it ends in people dying.
No, but that's the hit. Shot chaser.
But it does this thing where it's like, I don't know. I've had this long-standing thing where you hear about like local man dies after shooting gas tank in what he thought would be a prank, right? And you look at it and you kind of smirk a little and you just shrug and you're like, how bad am I supposed to feel? How bad can I possibly feel?
What are you going to do? Stab me? Says stabbing victim.
Okay, see, that's great. That's the best ever. I assume that guy lived, but...
fuck that alligator. Last words of man jumping into alligator.
Fuck
fucking
those alligators. I don't give a shit. And he gets torn apart by
dives
alligators.
into the alligator pit. I mean...
There's only so much sympathy you could possibly give
for people
who have what I would not say a lack of common sense. I would say that their personality is built on attacking the concept of common sense.